Hello everybody, and welcome to the first video here on Visceral Semantics, the YouTube page, as you're clearly watching. I would like to welcome you to our page and first give you a brief description of what this web page YouTube channel is all about. It is primarily a means for discussion and communication betwixt people inside of the, I guess, online video community or online community as a whole. I hope that this web series, whatever it may be, vlog, whatever you'd have it called, starts many great conversations and incites great discussions and helps bring people together to talk about the things that truly do matter, be that from philosophy, psychology, politics, what the world has to offer. And I think I hope that this webpage helps people develop a better sense of what they think the world is and who they believe they are, and helps further all of our ideologies and helps strengthen us as people. So I'm hoping the way this video series will work is that I'll make a video that will be originally discussing an original topic. Well, maybe not an original topic, but a topic altogether. And the comments and the video responses will continue this conversation and will ask questions. And it'll basically be up to you, the viewers, to determine how well this conversation goes and how long it goes for, or even if you want to discuss it at all. I hope that you guys leave comments saying something you would like for me to discuss that I'd like to make a video on. And I will do that as well, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to discuss, I'm here to talk, and I'm here to project myself into the digital community as a philosopher, as a thinker, anything. So I guess that sums it up for the introductions and the welcomings. So anyways, let us begin with our topic today, which is the dimorphic perversification of utopic ideology betwixt gender, or different genders, or even, well, it doesn't even have to be different genders. No, I think I'll stick with that. That's easiest. I don't want to make it this huge wordy thing that it already is. Anyways, so basically our topic covers the way relationships get messed up based on males' perversification through pornographic material and females' perversification of a relationship through romantic material. And I'm going to delve into these in detail so that we get a firm understanding of what I'm talking about here, and so that conversation can be furthered in the digital community as a whole. So let's get started here. Obviously the first and most easy to discuss, because everybody seems to pretty much agree on majority of the facts, is men and pornography. It is a well-known fact that men are constantly in struggle, I'd say, with pornographic material, and are constantly viewing it, reading it, what have you. Even though a lot of the community in the world would like to say otherwise, that is indefinitely how it is, as anybody with a clear, perceptive, honest mind would tell you. And so basically how males mess up relationships based on pornographic material is they view it, well, first of all, on a very simplistic level, when men go through orgasm, like a period, but no, when men experience an orgasm, chemicals are released in their brain, which I will now try to pronounce. They're called dopamine, norepinephrine, and phenylethylamine. I'm sorry if I butchered those, but those chemicals, along with like oxytocin, help formulate a type of like a natural addiction in your mind when you're releasing these during orgasm, that help you get addicted to sexual release, which is most likely an evolutionary trait that we've developed in order to spread our species, but that's hard to say. Most likely that is the honest answer of why we develop an addiction like that. And so through that, men will view pornographic material and expect their significant others to behave in a way that correlates directly to the material they've been viewing in the pornographic material. And they will expect them to behave this way, and they usually don't want to talk about it a whole lot. They don't want to ask, like, "Yeah, honey, can we try the deep throat tonight?" You know, they actually would much rather do something that we have all known for a while, that is pretty common in relationships, especially, well, not especially, but within the male populace, is that cheating occurs, where men would rather not discuss that with the people that they have engaged with in the past, and they just go find somebody who knows how to do it and knows to do it already. And the other thing that makes that such a detrimental part of pornographic viewing, and why it makes it so common in viewing, is because pornography creates this utopic ideology. Man, I'm stumbling over my words there. Utopic ideology in which the male figure in most pornographic material is, for the most part, formless. He really has done nothing to sort of, I guess, like, have these sexual rewards, like, rewarded to him. He's done nothing to, like, achieve them. He just simply is supposed to have them biological, but naturally. I mean, that's I guess the state that they try to say that males are in, is that they all deserve this, and that's what all men are looking for, is to say, "Oh boy, I deserve this." And men, I guess, as a whole, for the most part, don't really want to do a whole lot of work, and they especially don't want the emotional baggage, and they don't want to have to actually work in the relationship in the parts that are challenging to men generally. So they'd much rather just have pornography as a means of quitting the baggage altogether and getting the satisfaction that they require. And that makes it much easier to slip into the thought process of, man, I wish my woman did this in real life, or my partner, and it doesn't even have to be a woman, but my partner did this in real life. And that makes it a very challenging thought process to break in order to maintain a healthy relationship. And I think a lot of people don't really think about what it is that's causing this. They look at pornography as a bad thing as a whole, and they don't really understand that it's a thought process behind the pornography that really makes it a detrimental item. But now that we've talked about the male perspective, and we understand truly what's or not truly, but I guess vaguely, as ambiguous as people are, we like to put people in little boxes, as anybody who has studied psychology for more than a minute has noticed. So as we've covered that topic generally, I'll now move on to the female portion, which I think is more interesting because it's not really known. See, most of those things over there can be known pretty easy. They're relatively in the public domain because it is commonly understood that men view pornographic material. So, now that we've covered that, females have a much more discreet way of going about relieving their, I guess, relationship tensality. I don't know if that's a word, tensality. I'm going to use it anyways, I don't care. That's why it's called visceral semantics, go figure. Anyways, the point is that they have a entirely separate way of doing it that is totally unequal in the gender gap, because it allows for men's release to be viewed as deviant and destructive, and it allows for females' release to be positively regarded amongst most of the populace, and that is romantic media, or romantic, I guess, entertainment, as it would be called. And even, I mean, religious institutions send their kids, when they're having a female slumber party, they'll watch, Twilight, which I'm using Twilight not because it's the greatest example of a romantic film, but because it is the most commonly understood at this point, because it's a huge explosion in the media, so we all know, or relatively all know, what it is and what it's about and what the controversy is, and Twi moms, and, the whole, I guess, I don't really want to say, but culture surrounding Twilight. And so I use Twilight, but anyways, the point is that religious institutions will send their, teens and preteens out to groups and parties and slumber parties to watch these films, and it's considered acceptable. But obviously, I mean, if men were to do the same thing with the viewing of pornographic material, it would be considered highly deviant, and I'm sure a lot of people would lose their jobs. Some people might wind up in jail, and it's considered very inappropriate in our society for sexual conduct to be, I guess, talked about so openly. It's regarded as awkward and strange, and even sometimes malicious. I mean, you hear of like sexual, I guess, I mean, there's even like sexual breaches of conduct at work where you can say one thing and it will offend someone so much that that person could be fired or written up or what have you. But anyways, the most important thing that we get here to here today is that romantic media or entertainment is similar to pornography in a lot more ways than you'd think, and is actually the parallel identical twin of pornography, except for women, which I will now get into discussing. So when women view, and I guess this works for some men too, and it's not all women either, excuse me, but when women view romantic material or experience romantic material, it makes it out to be pornographic in that it fulfills the female ego in the same way that pornography appeals to men. I mean, it exaggerates the most cathartic aspects of the relationship, which for women would be the romantic part, without the real-life baggage, once again having to appeal to the male sensibilities and the male utopias, I guess I would say. And it elevates the self-indulgence without any of the responsibility. I mean, it's like eating junk food all day without, ever eating any of the appropriate foods. And it becomes reckless, and it's inappropriate in more ways than one, because, and it's much more damaging because nobody thinks about it. Nobody would like to discuss it, especially because we've got it projected into our children and fucking everything, to the point that it's drawing a line in the sand that would affect everybody's daily lives, and they would much rather not have it that way. Anyways, so when women experience it, there's chemicals that are released in their brain, similar to those and almost identical to those when they're falling in love, those experiences that when they first fall in love, and they want to experience that again and again, whereas the men much more like to focus on the muscular orgasmic release. And so that's where the two addictions come into play. And the thing is about the two is that, once again, romantic entertainment or media, once again, exploits the female ego in a way that she believes she then deserves all that material being treated the appropriate way from the male counterpart without having to actually do any of the conduct. So, like men will do, they will go off and cheat. Women will become frustrated with their male counterparts, and they don't want to tell them because that's unromantic to tell your partner to be more romantic. So, instead of doing that, they sometimes cheat, they become sexually uninterested, and they give up altogether. And in both of these ways, pornography and romantic relationships become very detrimental to relationship aspects. Did I say relationships? Romantic parts of relationships become very destructive to the relationship, and both are two main reasons that we're failing in relationships. The divorce rates are so high right now is because we're not understanding the way the minds are working behind these. So I think that's very important to start talking about. So I've created this video so perhaps we can start this discussion, and I hope you guys continue it in the comments and video section, but it's entirely up to you. Also, I would appreciate it if you guys could let me know what you think, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to talk about specifically. If not, I'll just continue ranting on things I think are important until any of you guys decide to speak up. But this is a community that I'm building here, a community that I would like to see spread intellectual discussion about things that really do matter, not Justin Bieber. So I hope to see you guys soon, and I hope you guys liked what you heard and continue to return to this channel for great discussion, I hope. Enjoy, guys. Thanks.